the Design Studio. Are you ready to see what we're going to teach you how to make today? I'm super excited. I've had these supplies kind of laid out and kind of put them all together today for you. So, for those of you that saw my post last week, you saw that I gave you a little teaser with my black cat, and I said, how many of you would like to learn how to make a Halloween lantern slide? So that is what we are going to be making today. So I'm going to go ahead and cover some quick housekeeping items for you, and then we'll go ahead and get started. You'll see that this actually has a couple of different purposes besides just being a Halloween swag, and I can't wait to share them with you. So first of all, if you want to save this tutorial, if you are on Facebook, you simply need to click the share button down below. That will just take this tutorial, put it on your Facebook page, however you're watching this right now. If you're on YouTube, all you have to do is hit save, and that'll go ahead and save it in your YouTube account, however you have that set up. Now, to make sure that you're receiving notifications, because I'm launching a lot of new things this month in preparation for our busy time of the year. So I'll even share some of that news with you today. But to make sure that you're not missing out on Facebook, you want to make sure that you are following this page and that you are also liking this page. I believe like is easy to find. It's the follow button that's a little hard. So right next to like, there is a blue button, and then there's 3 dots. Click those 3 dots, it'll open up a smaller menu. You just want to make sure that you're clicking follow this page. YouTube subscribers, a little bit different. You're just going to simply subscribe, and then you'll be notified whenever I drop a new video tutorial available. If YouTube subscribers, since I don't really have a way to share news with you, get on my email newsletter, which I'm going to post down below. So if you go to my website, KatsCreationsNMore.com, and about halfway down the page, it'll allow you to go ahead and sign up for the newsletter. That way, whenever I'm launching something new, if you miss it on one of my social media sites, you can be assured that if you just check the newsletter, you'll make sure that you're up to date with all the current relevant news. So let me go ahead and pin that. Nope, that's not what I wanted to pin. Did it not pin? Oh yes, it did. It didn't pin. It just moved it down in the comments. Now it is pinned. So KatsCreationsNMore.com, that's where you'll find how to sign up for the email newsletter. Also, how to join my private group, which has its doors open for a little bit longer. So if you thought about joining, come join us. We'd love to have you. You get 8 tutorials every single month. You have access to an entire library with more than 300 exclusive tutorials, which most private groups don't allow you to go back into the archive and grab anything in the past. It's always like relevant to when you join. So make sure you do that. Let's see. I've covered all of those things. Let's go ahead and get started. And then while we're working on this, I'll share with you a couple of the items that we are launching next month. It starts, you can sign up now so that you're all prepared for it when it happens in September. So let me go ahead and pivot you down. It is currently raining right now in lovely Washington State, which I am enjoying wholeheartedly. Hi Cheryl, welcome from Ontario, Canada. Thank you for joining. Hi Elizabeth, welcome. And Janie, thank you. So, couple things. Lantern swags. So I have, this is an 18, I'm going to turn it on its side, 18 by 18 by, I think it's a 6-inch base from Hobby Lobby. So you can pick these up at Hobby Lobby about every 2 to 3 weeks. They go on sale. So when they go on sale, you're going to want to make sure you grab 2, one in white, one in black. If they don't have it in black and all they have it in white, no worries, you can go ahead and spray paint your lantern if you need to. What you want to make sure that it has is at the top, you want to make sure it has a finial, because the finial is how you're going to secure your lantern swag on. And I know a lot of us never ever thought of decorating a lantern before, but they are so much fun. Whether you add them to your porch, whether you add them to your fireplace, either on the very bottom or you add them to the mantle top, It's entirely up to you. Sometimes they're just nice features. Like even if you have coach lights on the outside of your house, lantern swags can also be adapted to fit the coach or carriage lights that you have on the outside of your porch or garage. So 18 by 18 by 6. You can go bigger if you want, but we're going to make this one to fit in at least an 18-inch lantern. So you have to have the lantern. Then what you're going to want to do is decide your theme. Well, we're going Halloween, but I'm not going to go the Halloween that I showed because we've already created that. We are going to go with a little less spooky version. Let me find the pics right here. We're going to do candy corn version. So a couple of items you can get, like the candy corn, you can get at the Dollar Tree. The little candy corn pick with the white and orange balls are from Michael's. You'll find, I think even Target, in Target's dollar section will have some fun Halloween items which you can add to your wreath. But kind of pick out whatever you want. Obviously, we're going with an orange, white, and yellow color palette today, which is going to look amazing on our lantern. So you're going to want to get whatever you want to incorporate. So I have a couple of the candy corn picks. So we're going to put a couple of those on. We're going to blend in some orange. It's kind of like a lighter orange and a darker orange in the center, ranunculus. We're going to pair that with some hops that are from the Dollar Tree. So we're going to be incorporating those. And then we are also factoring in a little darker mums from Michael's. And then we're also going to be adding in some foam roses, which are from Amazon. And I will come back in the replay and include the links for the Amazon affiliate things for, in this case, it'll be for the foam roses. And then I haven't decided wholeheartedly yet if I want to include any boxwood, but I do have some fall looking boxwood, but I'm kind of thinking that this is kind of more beigey brown, less orangey. So I'm holding on that. So the first thing you have to consider is when you are building your lantern swag, lay this down this way, is you have a door on your lantern swag, which you need to figure out which way it opens, okay? So when we are decorating our lantern, we are only doing 1/4 of our lantern swag, so just one side. This way, whatever you decorate the inside with, this one just happens to have a black crow in it. You could put candy corn in there. You could put a candle pillar. You can put whatever you'd like. If you're adding a lantern swag, you're going to want to make sure you do not use an open flamed candle. It's going to need to be one of those flameless candles, which, do I have them out here? I have one. I'm just trying to think, where do I have it? I'll look for it while I am creating and figure out where to put that. So you need to know where the door is. That way you're not building your swag that's going to sit on the side where your door opens. You want to make sure that that's free. Also on the top, your finial, you want to make sure that your finial is free. So in this case, my lantern opens here. I've moved my finial to the same side. Pam said, where is the lantern from? Hobby Lobby. So I got a white one and a black one at Hobby Lobby a couple years ago for my props, for my lantern swags. For those of you that are doing craft fairs, great way to showcase your items and kind of explain what all you can do with them. It's up to you if you want to, at your craft fair table, sell your lantern with the lantern swag. When I am selling my lantern swags, there is a disclosure in the listing that says you're buying the swag, not the lantern and the swag. So make sure you include that. Also, if you are listing these on your website or Etsy shop or selling them on Facebook, make sure you include the disclaimer. to not use a flamed candle. These are to be used with flameless candles only. Okay, so with that being said, we know here's our side. Flipping my finial ring to the same side will remind me, hey, don't put this on this side, Kat. We need to focus on the other side. So I'm going to be building exactly on the opposite side. But we're not touching the lantern until it is time for us to actually attach it to the lantern. So I'm just going to push this off to the side. Now, knowing that my lantern is 18 inches long, the one thing I want to do is when I'm adding my florals, I'm just going to use this so you guys can see. When we're adding florals or any type of display items or sprays, picks, whatever, we want to make sure that number one, they don't exceed the bottom of the lantern. So we don't want to make it long enough to where now we're going to have to try to figure out a way to back that up. So always make sure that it kind of hovers just a little bit, maybe 1 inch to 1.5 inches from the very bottom. And on the top, you can actually go over the side of the finial, because if you're using wired florals, you can redirect your florals to kind of go up and over, or even curved around the side of our lantern swag, which is what you're going to see me do today. Okay, so that's set aside. We're going to go ahead and start building. So it's great if you have florals that are already on pretty long wires. I have some of these ones which have the smaller ranunculus in it. So like I said, both of these came from Michael's. One is a little bit more orange with red, like an ombre effect. These are a little bit more straight up orange. So we're going to kind of mix and match. So I'm looking for, I have ones that have just the little baby ones on there. So we're going to grab 2 of those. So I'm going to cut the baby ones off first. They just haven't grown up yet. So here's one. We want them as long as possible because that helps you give a good base. And you're going to be really impressed with how we build our base. And I'm going to grab a couple of these off of here. I'm going to take probably 1 of each for now. Set that aside. So here we have 2 babies, 2 of the big ones. I'm going to grab a couple of these off of here. I like the one right here on the end. Take this one off. Let's grab this one. And I need 1 more. I think we'll go with this one. Also, when you're creating your lantern swag, this one's a little bit different. We're going to go heavier on the top than we are on the bottom. So you need twice as much stuff on the top, because remember, we're going to go up and we have to cover the finial top. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make sure I cut all my picks down. I'm going to add my hops. There's 1. There's 2. I think I'm taking all of these. 3, 4. Okay. Set those aside. And what we want to do is grab, these are what's known as push-up picks. Push-up simply means you can take your greenery and push them up. So we really want to take advantage of bringing that greenery up to the top. We don't want it down here in the middle. So I pushed up my greenery from this ranunculus. That is going to be our bottom. Same thing, pushing this up to the top. It's going to be our top. Just kind of pushing a little bit more so we can see those leaves coming up rather than leaving them sit way below. Okay, just like this. So here we have this. And this is actually what we are building our lantern swag on. We are building it strictly on the floral stems that we are adding to our base. So it's always a great way to take this, before we get started, lay your lantern and figure out, are we within the limits of what we discussed? We want to make sure that we are 1.5 inches to 1 inch from the bottom, and then we can go as high as we would like here up on the finial side. So we're good as far as measurements go right now. So anything within this, we're good. Okay, now we're going to come in and we're going to add some of that orange ranunculus. Again, push up your picks so we can see that greenery. I'm going to kind of pop this one right into the center, just like that. I'm going to grab this one for our bottom. Okay, just like this. So we're going to have one on one side, one on the other. And now I'm going to take some of our hops. I'm going to bring hops in here. Now everything is wired, so I'm not really worried about initial placement. Again, push these up to the top. Push them up to the top. I'm just laying everything down on the bottom. So we've got one here, two here. I think I'm going to take this long one and brush it up to the top. So I have 3 there and 2 at the bottom. Just like so. Okay, then we're going to factor in our ranunculus buds. So I'm going to kind of bring that in. And I need to do the same thing, push this. We're really good right there. Okay, so I've got my flowers kind of starting down here on the top part of the lid. We are going to be adding a bow to the center, so I'm good with the way that these are set right now. I am now going to grab some zip ties. Let me see if I have some black ones. And I found my lantern. And yes, we do have black. Or not my lantern, I found my candle. I don't know that this one, I'm trying to find my white one. Where did I put my white candle? Okay, so we're just going to simply attach a zip tie right at the lower half. So we grab everything on the bottom. Nice and tight right there. And then I'm going to do the same thing right here. And I can move these up and down once I get them in place, but I just need to make sure that I have everything all contained so they don't move. And this is the base for our swag. Just like that. Now from here, we get to add a whole bunch. Man, what is with my wire cutters? They just did not want to cut. Okay, so now I am just going to finesse some of my florals around a bit so they're not so static looking. So I'm going to grab this one. We have a loose one. We'll go ahead and fix that. I find that once they have a tendency of coming off their stems, they will continue to do that, so I just kind of glue them back on, even though we know they're designed to come off anyway if we need them. Okay, just like this. Same thing down at the bottom. Let's give those flowers a little bit of life. And bring that in just a touch. Okay, so far so good. Now we're going to add in some of our roses. So I have 2 that are going to go up towards the top. These ones are like a soft beige color. So I have one here, have one for the bottom. So I'm just looking to add some other color. And I'm seeing how far this runs. Do I need to cut that? So I'm going to cut just a little bit off. So I'm going to kind of tuck that in. And I know this is going to be way too big. So I'm going to tuck this one in over here. And I'm going to tuck this one in to the outside over here. And I'm going to grab a smaller zip tie. Probably would have been helpful to have them all out. So now I'm going to just take a smaller zip tie. These are the 6-inch black. And it just hides better if I'm using a black lantern. So I'm going to add that one to the center. And we're going to do the same thing for the top. Right in here. Which just kind of helps hold everything all together. Okay, we're good there. Don't need the white cat. You can put the white back. Okay, we're good. Alrighty, got a couple different options here. Now we're going to add our mums. Same way. I'm going to kind of add this one in here just so we have a nice little pop-up color. I know right now it doesn't feel like we're doing a candy corn one, but we are, I promise. I'm going to grab my other one, push up, kind of tuck this down off to the side. Probably should have waited and we could have just zip tied those all together. I'm going to do another zip tie just for my mums. Just to hold those stems in place. And we'll go ahead and take that one off. We've already successfully grabbed the one at the bottom. So now we have bunch of pretty colors. We're going to add our candy corn picks. So I'm just going to remove the labels. And we're going to do both of these at the top, not at the bottom, because they're a little too big and a little too bulky to kind of stick in the bottom. So I'm just going to find a nice place to tight that. Just right there. We'll come in right over here and add that one in. And I'm just pulling them up so that they kind of sit where I want them to sit. And I'll zip tie it. Anything that is in this open space where my hand is all going to get hidden by the bow. So I'm not worried about, hey, how many zip ties is she using? As many as it takes to hold everything in place. Okay? Again, lay it down. We've got a really good assortment going on here. Let's add some movement. So now we're going to take the smaller pick. And because this is all broken down into sub-small picks, that's exactly what we're going to do. We're just going to strip them down. So we have a little bit to go just about everywhere, which is always a good thing for a pick. But we want to make sure that we get some movement going on here. So this one's going to kind of come up and kind of tuck in here. I'm going to get this around my ranunculus. Make sure we've got some movement going on. We can actually bring this one up. fix that so it'll never come off again. I think this was one of the ones that I found it, but then I never actually glued it in to fix it. So let's go right in here with that one. We're going to do one a little bit taller. And if you find that, hey, I have a stem that doesn't quite go all the way down, no worries. If you have saved your stems from other things, you could go ahead and create an extension piece. And can't reach my wire from here. Hey cat, where'd you put him? Here it is. They're all buried. We have our floral tape. We can go ahead and extend this. So how you activate floral tape is stretch, but don't tear it. And we're just going to extend that. Because remember, it's going to be in the center of our pick. We don't need to worry about, hey, I can see the green. No, you won't. Which is always why you want to save some of the really long picks. Okay, move all your things to give them some life. And now we can actually take this, place this right at the back of our lantern swag. And now I can actually reach that from the center. I can actually secure that into the bundle. We'll do the same on the opposite side. These two are going at the bottom. So I have one here. I thought I had two. I guess I didn't. So we'll do two here and three here. Again, grab my stems that I saved. We're just going to extend that a little bit. Just so we have a longer stem. Does anyone know what the colors are for fall this year, Christmas and winter? You mean the trending color, Tracy? I got it so good that it's super, super sticky. Okay, I'm going to take this one a little bit to the outside so we can kind of put that in the back. Got one more. I'm trying to think what the... Judy says, okay, so yes, Tracy says the trending colors. Jody posted that it is blue. And I'm trying to think, I think it's kind of like a grayish blue for this year. Oops, okay, come off. So I'm going to bring this up, move, move, don't let them stay static. And this one's going to kind of come over here. Just like so. Okay, this one, ooh, he has a fairly short stem. Let's make him a little longer so I can use him a little longer. Sometimes you need just like, I just need another 3 inches. That's where you can save your stems. Okay. There's that one. And Lord knows we don't need it quite that long. We just needed it a little bit longer. This way it gives me some opportunity to move that. This one goes back in our underside. So I have a high, I have a mid over here, I have one here, and then let's give it a little extension. I'm trying to find one of my smaller ones. And then this way, they won't come apart. Just make sure you've got the anchor point really good at the top. Move. I'm going to tuck this one in right under here. Kind of make that one kind of pop out right about there. Okay, we're going to secure it one final time with our zip ties. So one for the high and one for the low. Just go ahead and gather them all up. Make sure you got a good grip on anything. If you need to add 3, go ahead and add 3. Just make sure they're on there nice and tight so nothing slips. I think I'm good with the 2 that I have. And like I said, you can do these in any color combination. You could go to Dollar Tree and get their black roses with eyeballs and do your traditional colors. Again, just move your florals around. We're going to be adjusting that whole bunch. But so far, this is kind of where we're at. Okay, so that is our initial thing for now. Like I said, we'll make final adjustments before we make it, oh, it's finished. Now we're going to actually create the bow, and that's going to go right here in the center. So we're going to do a really simple one, which you guys will probably like because it requires no measurements at all. And we are going to be using this gold and orange striped ribbon from Hobby Lobby. We're going to be using a yellow and white with polka dots. This is from Craft Outlet. And then we're also going to do some orange candy corn on a orange canvas. So we're going to be doing what's called a funky bow. A funky bow means that it doesn't have, it's not like perfect, like it has the same size loops, same size tails. So we're going to make sure all of my ribbon ends are good, especially with new rolls. And let's go ahead and start with the striped because it's kind of a sheer. So if you see it's kind of a sheer color, we are definitely going to dovetail the end. And then I don't want you really to think much except, hey, how far do you want that tail to hang down at its longest? And I'm thinking maybe right about here, which is about 7 inches. So once you got the good estimate, go ahead and use your bow dabber just to hold. And I don't want you to measure anything. I just want you to do like a short loop, a larger loop, a longer tail. So I'm going to do a little bit longer tail on this one. Actually, let's go a little shorter. So all it's doing is holding it so that I can continue to add more ribbon or more bows. Okay, we're going to set that one aside. This one, dovetail the end. And again, just pick a length, drop it in. Just randomly come up with a bunch of cute size loops. However you want them to be. And I always say, you know, do a shorter one, do a longer one. This is the no bow, no length. So dovetail the ends. And let's see, I'm gonna go short on this side, really short. I'm gonna do a little bit longer loop on that side, short loop on that side. I'm gonna stop here with my tail. Let's get rid of all that. And we're gonna start again. So you can stop there if that's all you wanna do. I want a little bit bigger, more fluffier bow. So I'm gonna go a little bit bigger. So one here. And this one, I'm just going to do a single loop. So I did one loop, 2 tails. And I'm going to do the same with the other one. Let me get my dovetail on that one. Okay, here's my loop. We're going to do the same here. I'm going to go ahead and dovetail in. And I'm going to just go short loop. I'm going to do it here and then drop that inside. And I'm going to do a smaller loop. So I'm just doing different size loops, different size tails. There went my scissors. Now we'll do our candy corn again. And this one we'll just do a double, meaning we'll do one on each side. Do that one there. And I'm going to go a little bit longer on this side. So this is what I'm saying, a bow with no rhyme or reason. And we'll trim that up. Okay. Now we're going to pick the whole thing up, put a pipe cleaner around it, gather up all the components, just because it makes organizing it and securing it so much easier. We're just going to spin, 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 and then we're going to fluff on the lantern swag. So, right in here, we're going to open up our pipe cleaner, and we're going to lay our bow right on the inside, kind of right in the center. You can go a little higher on the top if you want. And so now we're just going to lift all the loops. So I'm going to find all the loops first. And I'm just going to move those all out of the way. I'm going to pull tails randomly all over the place. So the tails, if I want them to develop some sort of a curl, I'm going to drag them down through my fingers like the old-fashioned curling ribbon used to be. Okay, just like this, just like that. We've got some more ribbon here that needs to get fluffed. Pull that tail down. I'm going to bring that one down and under my yellow. Let's go ahead and bring this one up this side. I'm going to bring my other yellow down over here. And because our bow is pretty fluid, we can, we can maneuver those anywhere we want them to go. I think I want this one just a little bit shorter. So we have a cute little tail right there. I'm going to bring one of these up because I have all these tails up here, but I'd rather bring up a loop. And anything that you feel is too long and you want to take off, go ahead and trim any of that off. I'm kind of bringing up some of my ribbon loops. Just kind of mixing them all up. So here we have our lantern swag thus far. Let me show you how we're going to attach it, and then we're going to go ahead and finish it and embellish it a little bit. So remember how we have created this. So let me show you a couple things that you can do with this. Number one, this could be just the way that it is. It could be a really small table side decor. I've done quite a few of these and just use these as a last minute centerpiece. And then you could like display all of your fall festive candies and stuff like that. You could use this as a pillar swag, meaning that it just, like on those small spaces, sometimes we just have like 8-inch pillars in our house where a regular wreath would just look weird. You can create this to also fill that space on your wall. You could use it in lieu of a door swag so that you can put this up on your door as a wreath, and you can also use it as a lantern swag. So it is like a 4-in-1 type of holiday home decor. So here's how we're going to add our attachment for our wreath. I'm using 22 gauge floral wire, and I'm pulling out a piece that is about 24 inches long. And I'm just going to kind of fold it in half. And then right underneath our swag, we have this big bundle, right? We know where our bundles are. I want it to kind of go up a little bit on the high side because it needs to go to the top of our swag. And I'm going to go around a fairly large chunk of our swag. So I'm just going to feed that till I get to the halfway point. And then I am just going to secure my wire in, just like we would a sign. Couple twists. And then this is how we're attaching it to our lantern swag. So, again, double check. Where's your door? Here's my door. Here's the back side. So I'm attaching to the front. And then what your swag is going to do is go around that finial, which is why we needed the finial. So the wire is just going to wrap around our finial. So I'm trying to get it centered on my lantern swag. First thing I want to do is actually bend it. So I'm going to bend the whole thing because it's made out of wire. So it's got a little bit of an arch to it. And then I'm simply going to wire this around my finial. I have a really small little one. And you can just tuck your wires back in. Okay. And now we're going to fluff according to our swag. I'm going to lift this up a little higher so you guys can see kind of what I'm doing a little bit. So here's our swag. So now we're just going to fluff everything because it's actually on the lantern now. we're well within our limits that we needed to be for the bottom. You're going to simply now start moving your florals up and out and away. They're not going to stay flat in those bundles. Now we're going to give them some movement, some life. Again, there went my other. This is where you find out where you have loose flower heads, so you can remedy those. Okay, where'd you go? Trying to find the other half. There it is. So that it won't come off any longer. Let's bring one of our tails up and down and through. This is why wired ribbon is key. You can take this and have it drape it around the back side of your lantern. We're also going to take some of the side pieces and we're going to move them into their side positions. Okay. Just move them so that they're not so static. Okay. Now what I want you to do, oops, I'm fluffing my ribbon. So these, like I'm saying, you can bring them so they cascade around the bottom. I'm just going to bring that one down, bring this one up. Okay, now from here, you're going to look for gaps. You're going to look for gaps in anything. Like, do you have a gap where you can see your frame? Do you have a gap where you feel like, hey, I really wish that we could add like another floral piece in there? This is where, if you have your extra florals, you can kind of come in like right in here. I don't know if you guys can see that. There's kind of like a pocket right there. So we're going to fix that. So this is where we don't need to have access to the bundle. We just need to know where the bundle is so that we can kind of come in and we can add another floral. So I'm simply going to glue the bottom half because this is where it's going to touch the base of our bundle. Just like so. Okay, you could come in, you can add little pieces of candy corn if you would like. I think they came from Shinoda. If you have your little wire pieces that you should be saving, you could create little stems for these. Same thing. I'm going to glue the end that is going to go in the candy corn. I might want a couple of these just kind of popping out little willy-nilly. Just like somewhere right in here. We might want a frosted candy corn pick. If you like where it's at, you know where your center is. Just make sure you've got something to anchor it onto, and I can actually see my bundle right there. So I can add a little piece of candy corn. I can do the same, just kind of go around the other side. You just need to make sure that if you are using a pick, that you anchor your pick in. These already have holes in the bottom, so I'm just going to give them a couple anchor points. Grab another one. And we'll add these two. They're just little frosted candy corn. Since it's candy corn themed, I kind of felt like, hey, it's only appropriate to put a couple of those in. I'm going to grab this one, it's a little longer. Right into, I'm going to hold it so I can push. There's that one. And we'll go ahead and tuck one down in here. Let's grab a longer one. This is going to go up into our bundle from here. Just like so. And go over to the other side. We can add one here. Just kind of give it a slight bend. So it can go kind of right in there. Nice little fun candy corn pick. You could use leaves. You can use pine cones. You can use acorns. You can use cinnamon sticks if you'd like. There we go. And we'll do our last one, because there's no point if you just have one. And I'm going to do this one a little bit in the back, but on the top. So it's got candy corns just about everywhere in our design. So that's kind of what we have thus far. Like I said, if you wanted to add, Dollar Tree has these little boxes of ornaments, and I want to say these are, it says 1.18 inch. There's a couple different looks. You have the matte finish, you have the shiny, and then you have the glitter. If you would like to add like a little pop of color, you could do the same thing. Oops. I prefer to always, these ones we can actually just glue right into the center of our display. So I'm just going to kind of tuck that one right in there. Let's take a little, I think a shiny one would look better there. I prefer to take the tops off. Otherwise, they have a tendency of coming off. So I just kind of tucked one in right there. Right there. You can kind of see it if I lift the leaf. Right there. And I'll go over to the other side. And I have kind of like a little hole right here in the top. So I'm doing a matte, a shiny, and a glitter. And I'm just sticking these to like the leaves on the flowers. So fun little festive. Let's add some to the bottom. Since I think I pulled out one of each. Oh, here's the glitter one. So let's put one of each at the bottom. So let's pop the tops off of these. And let's add some of these. We're frosting it like a cupcake. Tuck this one in right there. Let's add our shiny. I like the shiny one at the bottom. I think I like that one there. Okay. Right up inside. And I need another glue stick, and I can put the last one in. Just like so. And we'll tuck this one in just below our candy corn pick. And there, so weird. It's like I can't quite see it because my screen is just not in the right place. But that is it for our candy corn lantern swag. And let's go ahead and lift these up. I'm going to bend these around a bit. Kind of tuck it up. Just so we have a little bit of stuff going every which way. just like that. Have that one kind of tipped. So we still have accessibility to our lantern. Let's see. Did Kat remember to put a bulb in this one? I don't think so. Oh, where did I put my white one? I did not put a lantern in there. I know I brought 2 of them out. I found one. I can't find the other one. And normally I put them up on my shelf and I don't see them on my shelf. So let's just open this one. That's the one thing I lack inside my studio is batteries. But we can get the gist. I might. Let me look. So I get these from Hobby Lobby, and they should not be this darn difficult to get out. So, flameless candle. Let's see what it requires. 1, 2, 3. I'm not sure I have double A's out here. Let me look real quick. I think all I have is double A. For the life of me, I'm still looking for my candle. I don't have it, which is really driving me crazy. I think the ones I only have are... Nope, all I have is the wrong size battery. I have double A's. But let me show you kind of the effect of what it should look like. Let's put this on. Okay. Once you put your AAA batteries in, you're going to add your candle to the inside so that you still have it viewable from the outside here, the outside here, the outside here. Now you could do some fun things like add, you can add some ribbon tails. You could take all those leftover balls that we had from the Dollar Tree. I think these were from a couple of years ago because I think they're slightly bigger now. Let's take all those out, and we can kind of throw these in around the bottom, just making sure we have different ones spread out all over the place. Try to make sure I've got like a mat. Oops, I've got 2 mats here. And just stuff like this. And then you just have like a nice little color. You could add raffia inside. You could fill it full of, you put a small little jar inside and fill it full of candy corn. What you choose to fill it with is entirely up to you. You can make them for any season, any holiday, but you could do something super simple like this and add it to your, trying to get the whole thing in the picture. I'm still trying to figure out a way to see it all. It's kind of not showing the whole thing. So I think kind of like that, so that you can put it on your porch with some pumpkins and some other stuff and add some fall florals to it. It's super fun, super festive, but a nice simple way that you can just take a little bit of fall, bring it into your home. And here's the nice thing. If all you do is decorate 2 lantern swags and put them on either side of your fireplace, removing the decorations is a super snap. You just untwist your swag, you put your swag away in the box, and you're good to go. So super fun, super festive. If you were to use this as a table centerpiece, you're just going to take the wire that is attached to your swag, and you're simply going to, I'm trying to still figure out how to get it in there. You'll just tuck it underneath. If you're going to use it as a pillar post, you can use that wire to go ahead and affix it to your pillar or add it to your front door for a small door swag. This would make a great door swag for apartment doors, office cubicles, and hospice doors, even assisted living, because it's a much smaller diameter piece. But that's all I have for you guys. What do you think? Also, just to give you a little FYI of something I released on my Facebook page today, we are creating what's called a rewards group. So for $5 a month, you can become part of the rewards group, and every month we're going to be giving away at least a wreath. It could be signs, it could be wreath supplies, it could be a wreath kit, could be ribbon bundles, it could be a wreath attachment. It's just a way to kind of give back, and every month the rewards will change. And so you just never know. Every single person will get the materials list for the wreath that we're giving away. So in the event that you're not the person to win it, you'll still be able to recreate it. It'll come with a photo, instructions, item numbers, SKU numbers, and a video link to put it together. So everybody gets that. And then that's available in the group. And then I haven't figured out the day of the month that we'll do the giveaways. We might do it like every Friday, we might do it, or something like that. Details are still working out, but if you're interested, sign up at the website pinned below, KatsCreationsNMore.com. You'll go to its new product description, and you'll see it in there. It'll say rewards program. I am working to get that posted on the main page so you don't have to dig for it, or you can use the search tool and just type rewards program. Sign up, then you'll need to request to join the Kats Creations rewards group on Facebook, so that it's just going to be available to the people that are in the rewards group. So you might get a wreath valued at $150 for This is also available on my website. An amazing day, and I will be talking to you. This has not been announced yet. I am going back to Friday Night Lives. So I'm not doing Thursdays anymore. You will find me Fridays at 5 p.m. Pacific, which is 7 p.m. Central, 8 p.m. Eastern Time on Friday nights, every night. So Kat's back on Friday. So I'll talk to you all real soon. Bye for now.